Hello everyone. So in this video we'll add the Swagger to the Spring Boot. It's very simple. You just need to add one library, and that is I'm just putting it in a pom.xml, and the library is simply this one. So org.springdog springdog hyphen open API starter web MVC and UI, and get the latest version. Alright. And then you need to refresh the Maven. I'll just use this over here. And once the dependency is added to your project, you can just start your application, and I will show you which URL to be used. So I'll just start this application, and here if I use this, simply you need to use swagger-ui HTML, and your Swagger UI will be there. You can also use v3/API talks, and you'll get all the definition of OpenAI into the JSON format. So whatever you are seeing in the Swagger UI backhand side, it will be there. All right. So now let's check and our API over here, the books, and just try it out. Get all books here, and click on execute, and you get all the three books which have been loaded at the start of the server are there. All right. So that's a pretty simple adding of the Swagger into the Spring Boot. Now let us create a Docker file for the same, because we haven't created since the last hello world that we put into the deployment. What I'll do is simply I'll just right click on new and the Docker file, yeah. And then what you'll need to do is from OpenJDK, um, then you need to choose colon 22 and then hyphen EA as for the time, right. And now let's try whether it is there or not. Now let the set the working directory, okay, and then environment to environment variable, username, and you can put dollar username and password that we'll get for the H2 database, and this copy the dependency file, and here in our case if you go to the SPOM, or what I will do is simply if you want direct, then lifecycle and then click on this package, and that will create a jar file which we can use as a part of source and destination. Alright, so now let's go to the target, and here you can see the jar file. So what I'll do is simply, okay, either I can copy path reference file name and target this one into the app and the snap, okay, or you can simply say book jar, book app jar, okay. Now it's time for a port expose 8080 and the command to run the container start, okay. So now here is our jar file, then you have a java command and hyphen jar, and we are not passing any sort of a things, and that's it. Now let's try to build the docker. Go to the terminal, and we can simply say docker build, or what I can do, I can use the GitHub Copilot. So docker build, and my git sorry docker hub URL is this one, and here we can use, okay. So docker build try this one. Let's see. All right, so Docker build is done and our image is now been created. So what I'll do is simply Docker run, but in our case the environment variable is there. Okay, so what I will do is simply Docker run p5 name. Okay, fine. So -e um, username equal to any username that you want, user 123, and password equal to pass123. Okay, should not have such password, but fine for demo purpose. So let's try to run the application and see. Invalid reference format, name the library. Okay, I'm sorry, my -e, and let's try again. Only one usage of the socket address is normally permitted. Okay, let's clear again and I will try again. Let's stop this server. First of all, I think the port issue is there. So after port has been given, now let's try to run, and now let us check our um, here we can see localhost. So Swagger UI is working fine, and we can try our API and click on execute, and our data is there. Okay, now we can even check whether it's all working fine or not using this docker logs, docker ps. So you can get all the containers which are running. Docker logs 1.8, you can put this and see, we can see this application is running absolutely fine. All the SQL statements are also there. All right, we can also try the postman. Is there or not? In case postman is not installed, what we can do is simply go to the search for postman, and you click on this postman and download the postman. Windows 60-bit, and it will start downloading. We'll right away install here and click on the open file. Once you ask this one without even creating account, you can directly try, and you can simply say localhost 8080 and hello. You can say hello is not there. Let's say books, and we have all the books are now available. Okay, so you can directly use postman. You can change the themes, um, settings, and I love this black theme, dark theme, or this one also fine, and this look pretty okay. All right, so that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.